In this lecture, I want to show you how you can combine a photo of real existing clothing with a digital model, and this quick and easy. Because later in this course there will be a lection about product placement, and in this lection you will learn how you can keep all the details 100% the same and just create a digital model wearing the real fashion. And the method I want to show you now is for a quick and easy solution in case the details don't matter. So let's have a look onto my screen. Good, we're here in focus, and the first thing we do is to get the advanced settings and input image because we want to inpaint clothing. And the goal now is to use an image like this and inpaint a jacket like this. So now the girl is wearing a beige jacket and I want her to be wearing such a dark winter jacket. Good, this is what we do now. So we go here to the upload section where we can provide input images and to image prompt. And then we go to our folder and we select the fashion piece we actually want to use. In this case, the winter jacket. Then we go to Inpaint or Outpaint and we have to upload our model. And then, as you already learned in the Inpainting section, we use the brush to mask all the areas we want to actually change. In this case, it's the whole upper body and also the arms. And we also have to change a little bit the shoulder area and the top of this existing jacket. Something like this should work. And down here we still have a little bit left. Good, we zoom in. All right. And as this is a quite long code, it could be that the final result will look a little bit weird now because the winter jacket normally is shorter, and maybe focus will inpaint the winter jacket until here, and then it will look like a too big jacket for our girl, but we will see. To make sure, I will include in the prompt short winter jacket and we will see what focus will make out of it. Good, so here in the prompt we type a girl wearing a short black winter jacket. Good. Sorry if I do any spelling mistakes. English is not my mother tongue, but I think you get the point. Good. Then we have to select the method. And for that, we have to either go with the default in Paint or modify content. And in this lection, we will test out both to see what works better in that example. So we start with the default, and then we have to do the rest of the settings. We select JPEG, we create one image. The aspect ratio doesn't matter because it's in painting, so this will already keep the aspect ratio. We use quality, and here in the model selection we go with the realism engine, and then we have to go to the advanced tab, to the developer debug mode, control, and we have to combine again mixing image prompt and Inpainting to combine these two areas. And that's it for now. Then we can hit generate and wait for our result. Good, we have our first result and let's check it out. On the first look I can tell, okay, we have a black winter jacket now, but I'm not fully satisfied because, as I said, the jacket is a little bit long and we have a lot of buttons and details which are actually not part of the original jacket. But as I said, this method is just to inpaint a similar fashion piece. If you want to create real product placement and keep all the details as they actually are, wait for the lection about product placement. But we will test around a little bit more to achieve a better result. For example, we could go back to image prompt, then to the advanced settings, and we can crank up a little bit the image weight. So let's try out 0.9, and to stop it we set to 0.8 just to check out what will happen, because the expectation now is to get a jacket that is a little bit more similar to that one. And now we generate again. And after that, we will also use the modify content method, the other method you know from Inpainting, to see if this is producing a better result. But as always, it's always a little bit testing, playing around with the parameters to get to a perfect result. Nice, we have our new result, and I can already tell this looks way better because now we have also this little shiny arm here, and the general structure of the jacket looks way closer to the original jacket we actually wanted to inpaint. If we compare that, that's actually not bad because we also have like a similar structure here. And of course, there are also some mistakes. For example, we have this little stripe here, and also the neck looks a little bit different, but you already see that we come closer to the final result. So if you want to try out more, I recommend to play around with the stopper and the weight just to see if you get an even better result. And now we will test out the other method here in Inpaint. We just try out modify content. And in this case, we have to enter the prompt down here. So we cut it out and we paste it down here. And you know what? Let's go back to image prompt and increase that even more. Let's find out what happens if we use 1.1. All right, let's generate the image. So this is the result with the modified content method, and yes, it's all right, but I think the result before was even better with the Inpainting default. And because of that, I think we should try it one more time with the default, but we increase the stop at even more to 1, just to see what happens now. And of course, we have to go back here to Inpainting, and then we set this back to Inpaint default, and now we have to paste our prompt up here. A girl wearing a short black winter jacket. Let's find out in the final test. Good, our image is done. Let's check it out, and I think it looks really good. We have now these shiny arms, and we have pockets here at the front as we have it in the original image. Good, let's go to the history log and compare one more time what kind of results we got. So this was the first result we created, and if we compare the jacket of the girl with the actual jacket, I think there's not a lot of similarity, but still it's a winter jacket. And then afterwards we increased the weight of the jacket, and I think this is the best result because now the jacket looks really similar. The arms are also shiny, and the structure of the jacket looks the same. We could do a little bit more inpainting and editing to remove, for example, that top here or this stripe, and then the jacket would actually look really similar. Then we also tried it out with modified content, and I think when we compare the results, the Inpainting default was even better this time. But you never know, that's why I would always test it out. And afterwards, we increase the weight of the jacket even more, but I think the result is not really better. So this time, a weight of 0.8 gave the best result. And I just want to tell it one more time because it's important. Please don't be disappointed that the details are not exactly the same, because there are other methods where we can keep all the details 100% the same. For example, if you are running a e-commerce store and you are selling clothing, of course you need images of 100% the same clothing. So this would not go for an e-commerce store because it's not the real jacket. And this we will learn in the lecture about product placement. So this method is just if you want to create, for example, an AI influencer wearing a similar fashion piece to, for example, a fashion piece you actually like, you can use this method to do it.